up and up and up every year, so hopefully we can help that continue. So, right, here we go. So, should we just go for a full tash off first? That makes sense, yes? Oh, that would help if it actually had a razor attached. There we go. Uh-oh. Right, there we go. So, right down the middle. Now, with this, I'm going to change bowls. If you'll pardon the term. Right, okie dokie. Now, whilst this isn't something that I do every day, as is clearly obvious by having a beard, it is something I normally do by myself in the privacy of my own home. So it is a bit peculiar to be shaving in front of a lot of people. But as I say, this is done specifically to raise money for comic relief. I've noticed quite a few children seem to not understand the concept of charity, or how sponsorship works, or how people donate. But effectively, comic relief has always had a foundation in comedy as well as charity. Originally set up by Lenny Henry, Richard Curtis, who made Love Actually, For Wednesday Funeral and other such films, and Harry Enfield and other comedians who are ancient now. But it's continued with the comedy side of things, which is why they have a red nose. So a lot of the idea behind the charity is that you do something a bit daft, something silly. So I believe this year it's make funny for money. So basically, make yourself look a little bit daft to raise some money and get a little bit of interest. And I've got to say, a lot of you have donated, and it is very much appreciated. We're going to be on target to make it over £200 at this stage. Hopefully we might get some more before the end of next week. So yes, this is where the point I realise I'm on a bit of a time limit. So, yeah, really was as exciting as your thought, wasn't it, kids? Yeah, yes, watching a man shave. But here we go. We're getting there. Right, I might have to concentrate firmly on the beard. Just, I'll save the sideburns to another time. Right, okay. To be honest, I did have a fact sheet about Red Nose Day and beards, randomly enough, but I chased off some year 8s earlier, so unfortunately I didn't have time to get that sorted. So not to worry, you'll have to find your own beard facts. Right, okie dokie. So how we're doing? So far so good. Doesn't look like I've sprung any form of leak, so fingers crossed. We'll continue on. Comic Relief has generally been helping with charities. I think initially the focus was Africa, because at the time there was a serious issue with famine in Ethiopia and other African nations. But since then, the focus has been very much on international issues as well as issues at home. So there's a lot of work that they do with children, with homelessness, with people with substance abuse problems, and it's all just basically to help people help themselves. And for those people who can't help themselves and need a little bit of extra support, this is where the money goes to. Now, I believe Comic Relief is on television tonight. It's on BBC One, if I'm not mistaken. So you can check it out there. Obviously with parents' permission and whatnot. You'll probably see there's a lot of Comic Relief related things on the television. I know most of you don't watch television these days, but that's just what it is. But yeah, so you'll find out, I believe Greg James from Radio 1 is doing some sort of cycle around the UK, which definitely requires more effort than this, but you can still look relatively normal and not be depruned of facial furniture. Right, okay. So if any of you weird children who specifically asked what I was going to do with my beard after I shaved it off, I can reassure you it is just going to go in the bin. Okie dokie. So no locks of beard for you. Right, so I'm going to really have to speed up because we're getting to the end of Eric. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I shall keep going until the time has run out. But obviously if your teachers tell you you need to move on to your next lesson, then please do so. I'll just try and sort this. Right, so we shall continue. So obviously any of you who are lucky enough to have me in your lessons for lesson 4 or lesson 5, you will get to see the fully finished product then. And if you haven't donated and for some reason this has made you think, oh, maybe I should have donated, then you can still collect money until next Friday. So any money, just bring it in to reception. It'll all go directly to Comic Relief. And then once I've got the final numbers through, the full amount raised will go into the newsletter and be sent out to everybody. Right, I'm going to have to reapply some of this. As you can see, I'm slightly out of practice. There we go. Right. So yeah, so obviously this is something that I've done. As we said about charity, anybody can raise money. Obviously the money raised has to go directly to the charity. But effectively you can really do whatever you want to raise money for charity. People do sponsored silences. Please, some of you do sponsored silences next year or for any future endeavour for charity. Sponsored walks, even sitting in a bathtub full of beans. It's happened before, although probably not this century. Right, so we're getting near the end of Eric and the end of Beard. Apologies for some of the ridiculous faces I've been pulling whilst doing this, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles or the beard vanishes. So yeah, so I'll do a bit of tidying up, so to speak, but I'll get rid of some of these errant whiskers. And there we go, a almost completely bald Mr. Thompson head and face. So there we go. Thank you very much for donating, those who have. And as I say, if you want to donate, then please do. Just bring in any money, anything from 50p up, would be much appreciated. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you, well, probably in 4 years' time to do the same thing. Right, toodles. Right, so the school have gone now. We're doing this as a Google Meet type of thing. So we're broadcasting it to all the classrooms in the school I work at. And to be honest, the majority of the money raised has come from you guys. The school have done really well. That's in the majority, it's from you people. You just have to wait. Yeah, it's locked, which is why I'm saying just wait. Yes, it's locked. Wait a minute, and then I will unlock it. Looking through the plug hole's a little bit peculiar, isn't it? I appreciate it, but was literally going to the class coming in here.
You look so much younger.
No, I look like an ill child. Yeah, it's not quite finished, but. Nice. Now I've got lots of children trying to. Anyway, so I'll finish off properly. Thank you for the donations. Bye bye.